Kia ora, Reo from Warriors Fan TV. So this is a new segment we're kind of going to be kicking off with the platform. So this segment's called Warriors Fan TV Hard Yards, Keeping the Faith. And all this is like I'm going to be interviewing different Warriors fans, the hearty ones, the ones that have been around for a while. Let them tell their story and go from there. So if that's it, I thought of the I didn't think of anyone else for the very first one, except the bro here. So this is my mate Karl Ohlson. We've been mates for over 20 years, and pretty much through that entire time, all we've talked about is the Warriors, Kiwis. Just wanted to tee up and get the bro to tell his story. Got some questions for him, and and we pretty much go from there. So, kia ora, bro.
Kia ora, Reo. Thank you. Thanks for the introduction, and thanks to Nick for allowing Reo to start this, and thanks Reo for the privilege of being the first fan to talk about what I love the most, and that's the Mighty Warriors. Like Reo said, we've known each other for quite a while, and I remember at work we'd always catch up after a Warriors game in the weekend, and like Reo said, there was something that we would always talk about, how our boys have been going, whether it was a loss or a win, or whether it was a tough game to watch. We'd always catch up and give our little debrief and give our little what we thought went well and didn't go well, and so yeah, it's a real privilege to come and share my thoughts about being a Warriors fan.
All right, mean, bro, mean. Okay, so the whole episode is kind of broken up into 3 sections, and we're going to kick off with our first one. So, what's your background, bro? Where were you born? Where were you raised?
So I was born in Palmerston North. My background, well, currently I'm working youth justice, where me and Reo used to both work. So that's how I met Reo. I've got 10 kids in total. So I was born and raised in Palmerston North. Mainly a lot of in the Milson area. That was where I first sort of got my first Warriors jersey after my first child was born, actually. She was born in 94, and it wasn't long after that I remember getting the TV Bitter jersey. And just remember how brand new it was, really. And it was a jersey that I really couldn't take off at the time.
Nice, bro. So how did you become a Warriors fan? When did it start? Where did it start? Why?
So yeah, like I was saying, my daughter was born in 94, my oldest one. And then I remember getting the DB Bitter jersey, the first jersey up. I think how I got involved with the Warriors was that it was a New Zealand team in the Aussie competition, and that's what definitely drew me to supporting them and being a day one supporter. My dad, he was a real fan of rugby, so he wasn't really into the rugby league much, but we did watch the Kiwis in there back in the Ohlson Filipina days. So I definitely knew rugby league. I played rugby league when I was younger as well for the local competition in Palmy, Kia ora. Kia ora Warriors.
Sure.
So yeah, it would have started for me, not long after my daughter was born in 94. Obviously I remember, the early days when they played Brisbane Broncos, the first game, and, seeing some of the rugby converts come over to rugby league, the likes of John Kerwin and Matthew Ridge and Mark Ellis and those ones.
Sure.
So that's pretty much how I got into it.
Nice, bro. Okay. Who's your favorite player, bro? Across the last 28 years, 9 years.
Ooh.
And why?
That's quite a tough question, really.
Yeah, bro.
There's so many of them to choose from, but I'd actually been thinking about it, and my favorite player is actually Ali Lautiti. The reason why he's my favorite player is I remember back in his time, they they likened him to the Michael Jordan of rugby league. And I remember when he used to play, he'd always free up his hands whenever he had the ball, and he just the opposition team could just never contain or sort of stop his hands from being freed up to be able to offload to the left, to the right, backwards. It just you just didn't know what he was going to do whenever he got the ball. And I think on and off the field for me, Ali Lautiti was just a real great guy. He was only young at the time, and from a Pacific Islander family, and he had some real good values. But I think on the field he was a different man when he played rugby league. So for me, that's why he was my favorite player, Ali Lautiti.
He was a metric guy.
Oh,
yeah, just the limits.
Yeah,
he was a joy to see.
Oh, he was amazing, Brett. Amazing.
Nice. Favorite player, favorite game from any time.
My favorite game would probably have to be the Melbourne Storm Warriors game, 2008, I think it was.
Sure.
When we finished 8th and the Storm finished 1st. And I just remember just some of the highlights of the game, especially obviously the Michael Witt try. They won it for us in the end. When he sort of put his hands up in the air, and people were wondering when's he going to put the ball down, and then he went to go put the ball down, and Cam Smith nearly sort of kicks it off, and it was nearly a no try. But I think for me, whenever we play the Storm, that's always been a big game for me, just because I know the Storm don't like playing the Warriors. And obviously that year we finished 8th, so we were do or die. We had to win to go through. And just remember that try that Michael Witt scored at the end. And I think he was the one that actually started that try. Well, I remember going to Jerome Ropati and then going out to Manu Vatuvoi, and then I remember he freed his hands up back into Ropati and then back to Witt. And just the celebration at the end when the Warriors scored that winning try. Obviously the kick didn't go over, but we still won the game in the end. So that's probably the favourite game for me was Warriors Storm. But anytime we play the Storm, I think that's definitely a big game for me.
Yeah, and I think under the old McIntyre system, first would play 8, and the Warriors were the first team to ever in that position.
That's
right.
First. That's right.
I mean, I think the Eels have done it since, but yeah, first time ever. And they actually changed the system after, I think, 2011, after we made the grand final, and then since the McIntyre system's gone. But yeah, the Warriors are good at that stuff.
Because was it the same year we went through to the final?
2008,
played Manly?
Yeah. I think we played Manly, and then
so to go from 8 to the grand final was a pretty good accomplishment.
Yeah, bro. All right, favorite game, favorite moment in a game. Oh, I suppose you just said it. Any others?
Trying to think of some other. This wasn't really well, it was a moment, but not really in the game. But I remember going to the game when the Warriors came back from Australia after the whole COVID thing, and the first game they had back at Mount Smart,
Tigers.
Yeah, against the Tigers. Yeah, I had the privilege of sitting up with Mayor Butcher, the Butcher Lounge, or the Mayor Butcher Lounge, or as it was back then, and I remember seeing a lot of day one fans sort of sitting in their seats. Obviously, some that sort of had they were in wheelchairs and their crutches because they couldn't sort of go and sit anywhere else. But I remember when the Warriors came out of the tunnel and just seeing the emotion on the fans, and I remember seeing some of them like crying and some of them standing up and just really cheering for the team because of what they had been through during the whole COVID time. The 2 years that they were stuck in Australia, and even as a fan, it was quite a tough time. Just sort of going on social media and just the negativity, I guess, that your social media people sort of had towards the Warriors at the time and towards the players, and wondering why they weren't performing. And I remember seeing Sean Johnson having to, video call his baby at the time, and just the impact that it would have had on the players at that time. So for me, there was definitely a favourite moment of mine was when the Warriors came out of the tunnel, because they went back to the original tunnel. Actually, they came out of the original tunnel from the '95 game. So and Toru Harris led them out. But I just remember just the fans and how they were just so emotional, just seeing their team come back to their home ground, and they had a good win that day too, the Warriors against Tigers. So yeah, that was probably one of my favourite times.
Nice, bro. No one even known how hard it was for the club, those COVID years.
Yeah,
just the struggle they went through. Being away from their whānau, and Roger packs up, Browning packs up. This from just him in the front up. Because I remember I think it was the Storm. We played the Storm one year.
Yeah.
And Cam Smith. Cam Smith came in, changing shit, and had a yak to the boys while they were over there. Just told them, you guys are doing well, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was hard. COVID years.
So I remember even being at work, and some of our workmates sort of asking us questions and being like, oh, well, what's wrong with your Warriors? And yeah, I won't mention any names, but I can think of a few in particular there.
No, big moldy ball.
A few in particular there sort of, enjoyed hassling us in their time. But, it was definitely a tough time. And now the result, on that, it would have been good to see more clubs have home games in New Zealand.
Mm.
But yeah, I definitely take my hat off to those that, came over and had their home games here, the likes of Newcastle, Brisbane.
Mm.
But it was definitely a tough time during that time.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Our second part is called HNF, hard and fast. So, Wales or Warriors, bro?
Wales or Warriors? I like the Wales thing. I do like it because it's very catchy and it's brought in a lot of fans. But because I'm a Warriors fan from a a while ago, I'm Warriors.
Nice, bro. I just seen a bandwagon roll past. It was like they're everywhere, bro. Yeah. Everywhere. Kiwis or Warriors, bro?
That's another tough one, bro. I love watching the both of them. I love watching the Kiwis, seeing all our boys come together from the different clubs and coming to all play for the Kiwis. But I can't beat my Warriors. Got to be Warriors.
Nice. Shawnee, SJ, or Stacey?
It's another tough one. Tough questions there, SJ, he's doing awesome this year. He's been doing awesome the last 2 years. But I can't go past the general. Can't go past Stacey Jones. It's just his contribution to the Warriors and still being there in the coaching scene as well. So he's been around for a long time, Stacey. So I'd have to go Stacey on that one.
Yeah, same, bro. Say, Little General was always just even his stature for me, smallest guy out there, but just the brains trust was like well above average.
Yeah.
And the sort of plays he pulled off. Shawnee's done well. Shawnee's done real well, but yeah, props to Stacey. All right. Who's your favourite opposition? Like, when you answer that, but your favourite opposition playing the Warriors against the Warriors besides the Storm.
Oh, it's the Storm. It's another good question. I would have to say the Panthers, I think.
Oh, true.
I think, obviously Ivan Cleary being there, now that we've got Webster, it's a real good battle for the coaches as well as the players. And I think obviously, we had the game recently where they beat us quite convincingly. So I think it'd be good to meet them in the final and just, show them our real game. And I think also because there's a few Kiwis in the Panthers team as well, the likes of James Fisher-Harris, Leota, Sorensen, yeah, definitely. And obviously Ivan Cleary, he was a Kiwi boy as well. I don't know if he'll admit it, but he was He was around the Warriors when he was, only a young fella when Dad was the coach. His dad was the coach. So, yeah, Panthers is probably it for me. And because I think that's the peak of NRL really is the Panthers. They go for the 3-peat this year. So, for me, I think that's definitely, my favourite opposition to play is the Panthers.
Nice. I remember we watched one game at your place and we were up. Like, we got a jump on them. We figured, oh, man, we might get this. And then they came back and smoked us. It was
very good games. And there were like those games when we've been up and then just still not being sure, everyone's going to win or not.
Yeah, I reckon, bro. Right, this is our third and final section. Kai time. It's called Kai time. You can invite 5 Warriors to your place for a hangi for tea, boys. Who would you invite, bro? Past and present. Can be anyone.
Wow. I think one would be Stacey Jones would be one. So I just think he's just real down to earth. Stacey, he's young family, still a young guy, and just really family orientated. There will be one that I would choose would be him. Another one would be PJ Marsh. Was the hooker for the Warriors. He was probably one of my favourite players too in my top 5. Yeah,
Still his offender.
oh, far out. He was a top player, right? Definitely before his injury.
Yeah.
But he'd be my number 2, PJ Marsh. Then Toru Harris would be probably my number 3. He just looks like just an awesome fellow that I'd like to meet. He's definitely another person that I think is all about the family and his kids and his wife. Another one will probably be Ruben Wiki. Ruben Wiki, the Carver King. I'm always reminded when I think of Ruben Wiki, it was hit up against the Roosters. Remember when he got the ball and you could see him just far out. It's like he was doing like the 300 movie. He was just ready to go to war and unfortunately it was another Kiwi on the on the other end of it. But he would be another one, Ruben Wiki. Probably my last one, I think, will probably be Isaac Luke. Uncle Bully, just another brother. So Isaac Luke would probably be my number 5. Hopefully I could put on a good hangi for those boys if they do decide to come around one day.
Yeah,
I've got the hangi cooker, so but there will be my 5 from
yes. Nice, bro. Yeah, everyone loves a hug. Everyone loves a good hug, but yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much the section. So just the finisher before we wrap it up. Just want to thank the bro for jumping in. We worked together for a long time. At the youth prison, the bro's still there, and he's a lifer. So and it's but yeah, the times we've had a good corridor about our team. The good and the bad, the dramas, all the rest of it. We kind of shared those times together actually. So to see where our team's at now, this season, rocking into the weekend, it's gonna be a good game with the Broncos. But no, just to say thanks heaps, bro. Awesome there. Sit down and have a yak.
Yeah.
Last question. We're gonna win this weekend.
Yeah, definitely. I think we're definitely gonna win. I think the good thing about it is we've got nothing to lose.
Yeah.
We're underdogs. I think we're peaking at the right time. The Newcastle game was definitely a sign to see where the Warriors are at the moment. And I think that they're peaking and really have reached another level, I think. And just to talk briefly about that Newcastle game, I thought just the options that we had was just every player was an option to break the defense, to score a try. It didn't matter what side we went to the left, to the right. We just had so many options, and obviously, Sean Johnson, he led the team around really well, but I think the options for me was just unreal. We had Nikoli that went off, and then your reserves that came on and done a good job. And then we have Fonua-Blake that was off for probably I don't know, must have been at least half the game.
Yeah, he was gone from.
So to not have him on the field and still be dominating, I think I think what Webster's got for this weekend, I think the Broncos are going to get shocked, really. Suncorp, there's a lot of Warriors fans in Brisbane, Gold Coast. There's plenty of Warriors fans there.
We've had some good wins there, bro.
Yes, we have too, bro. Yep, choice. And the fans show up, eh? Yeah, show up like Mount Smart. There's a lot of Warriors fans over there. But yeah, I think we'll win easy. I'm picking us to win by 10 plus.
Nice.
I think the boys will want to get one back for the game in Napier.
Oh, yeah.
Because it could have been our game with their finisher, with their ball runs about there. But yeah, I think the boys are pumping, eh? Everyone's pretty fit too. It looks like, what's his name? Ford's good to go. Josh Curran's good to go, even after his little sort of finger dislocation there.
That was ugly, bro.
Oh,
to see the replay.
See it on the screen, eh?
Holy.
And even the time it took for them to just put it back in place, eh? You can see it was... Oh, but if you see the replay of it, and they were saying that when he broke his finger, that was the hand he hit on the jersey to pull the boy into the... He was still saying that goal, and I was like, man, it just goes to show you far out. But the other thing, just briefly, the other thing I was thinking was just the culture that's been built in the Warriors. Like after the game, you see the players with their kids coming on the field and their wives, and then even in the changing rooms after the game, you don't really see the boys with the beers and all that. It's like Powerades, and I think there's a real shift in the culture that Webster and obviously others, because you've got Jerry Sisu there who's doing the whole mentoring role. You've got Stacey Jones, Justin Morgan. There's just a real good management just team that's really been built around the Warriors to change the culture, I guess.
Yeah.
And I just saw somebody on one of our pages, he mentioned that the Warriors aren't really putting up posts about the games in there. And sort of previously there had been a lot of, like Warriors would say stuff about how the game's been. But just I think the vibe is just real positive, and it's showing on the field just how happy the boys are and the team is. And then the result is showing for itself, really. So I think we'll get up against the Broncos, 10 plus. If we want a score prediction, I would say something like,
I don't have to be broke.
I would say something like 28-16. Looking forward to the Fonua-Blake and Payne Hospital. I think that'll be.
I think. So I'd said this on Warriors Fan TV, but so every forward pack has a wolf pack, and last weekend against the Knights, the wolf pack came out, bro, and they were hunting. But they because who's marking up on Payne Haas is actually on Mick Barney's side. Yeah. And Fletcher's marking up on Aiden. So yeah, that's gonna be good, bro. Aiden just I love his work rate, but the smarts you think he brings to our forward pack.
Yeah.
Anyway, that it's gonna be a good game. But even the Panthers, the first game for the playoffs. Yeah, we got smoked, but there was even the way the Warriors, well, yeah, their whole mindset's like, yep, done and dusted. Next game, and they've done the same for this Broncos game. Yeah, good win, done and dusted, move on. I'm with you, bro. I think we're gonna put them. For me, it'll be around defense, and I think we lock them out. But that's pretty much us. But thanks heaps, bro. Thanks for jumping in. This is I guess a new segment for Warriors Fan TV. Warriors Fan TV, hard yards, keeping the faith. And just kind of hearing the different stories from. Well, we're not bandwagoners. Put it that way. From the those that have kept the faith, kind of thing. So So yeah, so I hope you enjoy it. Leave comments, just whatever really, and yeah, we'll see you at the Monday night cordial. Go the fucking Warriors.
Warriors.
Ciao.